So today's tutorial gonna be really special if you guys want to increase your 3D animation skills along with the motion graphics. In this video we are going to create sci-fi animation, and that is in a loop inside of Cinema 4D. If you are using Cinema 4D for the first time, then that's completely okay because user interface of this software is super friendly to follow. And we will also learn how to use After Effects to enhance our renders, so it doesn't matter if you are using Cinema 4D, Blender, Maya or any other 3D software. So watch this video till the end to get into the world of Cinema 4D. So without wasting any more time, let's get started. Okay, so here we are in Cinema 4D. So now first thing first, I need to create one ellipse for, this pair for my animation. So I'll go over here, I'll choose this pair, I'll hit ND on my keyboard to create the edges and vertices enable. And now in segments, I'm going to choose 7 segments, and radius let's choose 50, and type is, instead of standard, I am going to choose icosahedron and simply hit OK like this. Then we will select this pair and we will press C to make this object editable. I'll go to the polygons, hit Ctrl A to select all of them, right click, and then we are going to choose extrude inner, and we will extrude inner like this. But if you can see, there's nothing is happening, so hit Ctrl Z again, and make sure to disable this preserve groups, and now hit Ctrl A to select all of them, and then press I, and now hit inner extrude like this, and now let's delete it. Okay, so we will get something like this. Now again go to the options of this and select this pair, press let's press 9E to so we can see these options, and let's decrease the size of it somewhere around over here like this. Now I'll select this pair again, and by holding Ctrl I'll simply drag and drop and press T for scaling option and scale it like this. Okay, press R for rotation and let's rotate it like this. So we'll get something like this. Press T and increase the size of it. Okay, so we will get this kind of stuff. Now I'll go to the shape options and I'm going to select this tube over here, zoom in, and let's create something like this. And now let's increase the size of this inner radius. Okay, let's go to right view and let's decrease the size from here like this. Okay, now press T for scaling option and scale it like this. Let's reduce the size a little bit again, and let's move this over here. Press T again and let's reduce the size of it like this. Now press E and let's bring this over here. Now I'll go to the move graph and I'll choose cloner, select this tube and move inside this cloner, select this cloner, and let's change the position Y to 20, or let's say 10, and let's increase the count. Okay, let's choose 10, or let's say 15 only, and let's decrease the position Y like this, and let's make it 25 properly. Okay, now select this cloner, go to the move graph, go to the effectors, and we are going to choose step effector like this and increase the scale of it like this. So we'll get this kind of stuff. Now select this cloner and let's move this over here like this. Okay, now first of all let's add our camera in our scene, and let's enable this camera like this. Select this pair and press S, so it will zoom in on it like this. Okay, let's adjust it like this. Now select this camera, go to the coordinates, and let's rotate it on like this. Now select this cloner again by holding Ctrl, create one copy, bring this downwards, press R for rotation, or instead of that you can go to the object or coordinates menu and let's rotate it on like this. Let's make it 180, press E, and let's bring this downwards like this. Okay, so we'll get something like this. Now if you hit play, we will get nothing because we haven't animated yet. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna select both the cloners, I'll go to the move graph, go to the effectors, and then I'm going to choose over here formula effector, go to the position, I mean parameters, and let's disable this position property. And now if I hit play, I'll get this kind of animation. Let's go to the timeline and let's make it 120, and let's increase the size of it. And scaling option, I'll choose 0.5 because I don't want much more animation of this one. Or let's make it tube, and let's see. Now we will get this kind of stuff. Let's make it 0.4 and let's see. So we will get this kind of stuff. Now I am going to select this cloner, and by holding control I'll create one duplicate. And now select this cloner too, or you can simply bring this downwards and go to the effectors menu, select this effectors and delete it. Now select this and let's bring this over here. Let's go to the front view and let's bring this over here like this. Go inside this, select this tube and press T for scaling and scale it like this. And we need to scale it like that, and make sure that the scale of this one should go out of this camera territory. And now let's select this cloner and press E, and let's move this over here or over here. Let's go to the cloner, go to the object, and we will increase the counts and we will increase the distance of this one also. Okay, like this. Let's increase the distance. Now let's select this tube and go to the height menu and choose 20%, or let's say 10. Let's go to the count and let's decrease the Y position like this. Press Ctrl R, so you will get this kind of stuff. Okay, now there is one thing that I haven't done yet. Simply select this kind of this cloner and let's disable this camera for now. Select this cloner, go inside this, select this tube, and by holding control I'm going to duplicate and create one tube. Let's hide this cloner and this cloner and select this, and let's hide this tube. Now we will focus on this tube, so press S to zoom on that, and now press C to make this object editable. Select your polygons, and by holding UL I am going to select my loop selection tool. Shortcut key is U and then press L. Select this and then select this, right click and choose inner extrude and extrude this inner like this, and go to the select option and we will click on this set selection icon, so it will select this over here. Now we have to start applying materials on it, so simply double click to create one material. Select this tube, press S, and let's apply this material on that. Double click to open this, go to the color menu and choose total black color like this. Okay, and double click to create another color and apply on this. Select this, and in selection menu I'll select this selection, as you guys know, polygon selection tag, and simply move this over here. So now this color is applied on this portion only. Simply double click to open this and go to the color menu, and we are going to choose bluish color over here like this. Enable the luminance panel and select bluish color over here also. Go to the glow, let's inner strength, let's choose 10, outer strength let's choose 50, and outer radius let's choose around 150. Okay, so now if I hit Ctrl R I'll get something like this, and let's select this tube, and now let's enable this cloner and let's enable our camera. We will get something like this over here, and enable this tube also, and we will apply black color to this tube, and if I hit Ctrl R I'll get this kind of shape over here. Now we need to select this tube. By holding control I'll bring this copy over here, select this cloner, select this tube and move inside this cloner also, and now enable this cloner over here and apply this black color to this second tube. So if I hit Ctrl R I'll get something like this. Okay, now this outer cloner we have over here, we have only one tube. So by holding control I'm going to create another tube, and we will apply one black color over here, and let's choose apply one blue color. So if we hit Ctrl R we will get this kind of stuff. Now inside this sphere I'm going to apply this blue color, then apply this blue color over here and apply this black color over here. Hit Control R, we will get this kind of stuff. Now we have to apply our light, so I'll go to the light menu and I'll choose area light. Let's zoom out, select this area light and move this over here. Press R for rotation, rotate it like this and rotate it like this. Go to the right view, press E, then press W and move this over here. Again go to the top view, by holding Control I'll create a duplicate and move this over here. Press R, then press W and then rotate it like this. And now if you hit Control R, as you guys can see, light is applied but we cannot see any shadows. So to get that, what we will do, we will select this light and we will go to the shadow and we will choose area. Select this light again and choose area again. So now if I hit Control R, if I press Control R, I'll get something like this. Okay, and if you think this looks weird, then you can apply again black color for this one also. It's totally okay like this. And if you don't want this kind of reflections over here, so simply double click to create another color and simply apply on this cloner. Let's delete these colors, double click to open this, go to the color and choose black color over here. Go to the reflectance and you can decrease the reflectance width over here, so we are not gonna get too much darkness on that portion like this. Okay, and if you want, you can simply double click to open this, select this glow and you can increase the inner strength of it to, let's say, 50 maybe. And if I save this thing now by hitting Control R, I'll get a little bit of glow on this blue color. And I'm going to select this material and by holding Control I'm going to create one duplicate and I'll select this sphere and I'll apply this material on this sphere. I'll replace it, double click to open this. So I'll go to the glow and outer strength I'm going to choose 100 and radius I'm going to choose 50 only, and inner strength is also 100. And now if I hit Control R, I want to see what kind of results I'll get. We will get a little bit of glowing sphere inside like this. Okay, so let's select this glow again and let's try to make the radius 20, outer strength let's say 500, and inner strength let's say 100 only. And now let's see, I'll hit Control R again, sorry. As you guys can see, we will get this kind of results over here. So let's make it around 200 only. Okay, so I'll stick with that. We will get this kind of animation over here, but now we have to animate this stuff also. So I'll select this, go to the coordinates, create one keyframe over here and one keyframe over here, go to around 20 frames and let's make it 360 and 360 and create one keyframe over here like this. So if I hit play, I'll get rotation animation for this one, and select both, select this one and by holding select this one, right click, go to the animation and choose show F curve like this. If it's not available over here, so we need to follow this procedure again. Select both of them by holding shift, right click, animation and show F curve, and we need to select these curves and we need to click on this linear icon. So now there is no ease in ease out stuff over there. Now we have to select the thing which is inside of it. Now we will create all keyframe on each and every portion, go to the 120, and now over here I'm going to type -360 and create one keyframe each. Select all of them and by holding shift, I'm going to select all of them, show F curves, again select all of them by hitting Control A, and I'll enable this linear and now it will rotate it on opposite direction. Now after 120, as you can see this is in the form of loop, like this. But now I want to change the view of camera also. So select this camera, go to the object, and then field of view. If I decrease it, I'll get something like that, but if I increase it, I'll get this kind of view. And now we will zoom in a little bit. By how we can do that, simply select this pair like this and press S on your keyboard, so our camera is will now focus on that, and then we will adjust the position of our camera. I'll adjust the position of my camera around over here, and now if I hit Ctrl R, I'll get this kind of view for my animation like this. Okay, now you can select this portion. You can simply increase the size of this one, press C and go to the coordinates, and you can bring this downwards like this. You can hit Ctrl R to see what's going on like this. Okay, so now if you want, then let's try to apply this color over here, and let's see what we will get. We'll get something like this. And what we can do, let's delete this color. Let's select this color only, and by holding Control I'll duplicate it. Let's delete this color. I'll apply this color over here, and I'll apply this color over here. Now double click to open this color, go to the color options, and we will choose a little bit of additional color like this. And now if I hit Ctrl R, I'll get this kind of variation in colors over here also like this. Okay, and there is another thing you can do if you want. This is not compulsory. Select this cloner. Let's hide this for now. Let's select this shape. Let's disable this camera also. Let's select this shape, press S so we can see properly over here. Now select this tube, press C to make this object editable. Select this polygon, press U L on your keyboard, and we will select this edge. Okay, now press I on your keyboard, and let's extrude this inner like this. And now we will apply this color on this faces. Okay, now let's disable this cube, so we'll get this, and now enable our camera like this, so we'll get this extra color outside. Let's disable this camera and this cloner again. Now this is on the outer side of this. Now we need to do same procedure over here also. Press UL, select this, press I, inner extrude, extrude it inner, apply this color over here, press UL again, select this portion, press I, inner extrude, and apply this color over here. Now enable this cloner. Let's go over here. Okay, let's delete this color. Now if I hit Ctrl R, I'll get this kind of effect like this. Now we have to do some camera movements also. So now what I'm gonna do, I'll simply go over here. I'll create, not here but here, and let's enable this null object. We have this null object which is properly at the center, and now we will select this camera and we will move this camera inside this null object. Now select this null object, and we have to animate the position of this camera. Now let's see what we need to address. We need to rotate it on this axis, so create one keyframe over here, go to the last keyframe, and let's make it 360 degree. Create one keyframe, right click, animation, show F curve, hit enter, and enable the linear. So now along with this animation we will get the camera animation also, and because we have applied lights, so we will get the variation of light shadows also. So it will create an effect like these things are actually moving like this. Okay, and if you want, you can select this camera, you can go to the object menu, and you can animate the focal length or this focus distance, not focus distance but this angle of view, or maybe like initially let's create one keyframe over here, go to around 30 seconds, and let's move this outwards, create one keyframe. Let's go to the start, select this value, hit Ctrl C, go to 60 seconds, hit Ctrl V, and create one keyframe. So if I hit play, I'll get something like this. Okay, so you can go over here, you can simply select this keyframe, hit Ctrl C, Ctrl V, go to the last keyframe, select first keyframe, hit Ctrl C, Ctrl V, and now if you hit play, we will get this kind of animation. Okay, so after animating all this stuff, let's see how we can render this animation. So now before we start to actual render, I mean not control or render, but actual really render. So first thing we need to do, we need to go over here, which is called render settings, and then we will go to the output, and for the renderer I'm going to choose standard renderer, width 1920, height 180, resolution I'm going to choose 72, frame rate is 30, and by default this settings it's on current frame. It means it's will only render wherever your this time indicator is. For example, right now this is on 8 seconds, so this will render only 8 frame. So what we need to do, we need to include all frames, which means from 0 to 120. Then we need to go to the saving options, and over here we will get this file where we have to choose the location of this file, like I already did. As you guys can see, my PC is on renderer, so this is gonna render each and every frame in the image format like this. And then in format we have to choose in which format we want to render it out. Like now, right, have choose this, I think JPG, and then depth 8-bit and etc. This stuff is not we need to know for at least for now. So yeah, these are the settings, and after all the settings are done, we need to render it out. For example, let's see this animation first. I'll hit Ctrl Shift Z, and now let's see this animation. We have this animation ready. Now after all this render settings are done, we need to click on this icon, render to picture viewer. Now this thing is already on render. After clicking on that, you can see we will get this kind of rendering stuff over here. As you guys can see, now over here my 42 frame is on render. Like over here you will get this readings also, that each and every frame how much time it will take to render. For example, over here it is 40 seconds, 14 seconds, 15 seconds, etc. So yeah, this is how you can render out all the images. And after this rendering stuff, we will learn how to enhance this render a little bit in Adobe After Effects. So as you guys can see, my rendering is done over here. If I go to the start and hit spacebar, as you guys can see, all the images are perfectly rendered and we will get this animation. If you see over here, this is in the form of loop. Now we have to enhance this render a little bit in Adobe After Effects. So now let's go to the Adobe After Effects. We will create new composition and we'll call it as main animation, width 1920, height 180, frame rate 30, and duration we don't want to choose much more duration. I'll choose 10 seconds long only, like this. And now I'll press Ctrl I on my keyboard. So as you guys can see, I have this up to 120 images of this render. So I'll select this first image, and then we need to enable this JPG sequence. If your render is in the PNG format, then over here it will be written like PNG sequence. So all we need to do is simply click on it and we need to import. Now after importing, we will drag this over here, and if I hit play, I'll get this kind of animation over here. Okay, so at this point I'll hit N, so we will get this animation in the form of loop. Now right click new, I'll go to the adjustment layer and I'll create one adjustment layer. Go to the effect and presets panel, and over here I'm going to type COL, which is for color, and first effect I'll get over here is color blue wash. So I'll simply double click to apply. So as you guys can see, we will get this bluish color over here, and with the, if you see over here, you will have this hue. If you change the value of this one, it's gonna change continuously. So how we can use it, let's see. Let's select this PNG sequence. I'll hit Ctrl D and I'll move this over here, and I'll adjust this area up to here. So after this animation, we'll get this again. Now select this adjustment layer, create one keyframe at U, hit U again, go to the last keyframe, I mean over here, and let's make this one complete rotation. And now if I see, along with this animation, I'll get this change in color like this. Okay, Now right click new and create one adjustment layer again. Go to the effect and presets panel and you can apply for CC lens effect on it. Let's double click to apply, so we'll get this. Let's increase the size of it somewhere around like this. So now if I see, I'll get a little bit of AG effect over here. If you want to see the difference, if you hide this, you can easily get this difference over here like this. Okay, so let's increase a little bit size like this. Okay, and if you think this is quite small, then you can increase the size of this again. Then right click new and I'm going to create another adjustment layer. Let's go to the effect and presets panel and now I'm going to apply brightness and contrast. I'll increase the contrast a little bit like this, and if you want, then decrease, or let's say increase the brightness, so we'll get this kind of stuff. Now right click new and create one extra adjustment layer again and apply glow effect on it and double click to apply. Let's increase the glow threshold to 90, increase the glow radius to 50 and intensity 0.8 like this. So now if I hit play, I'll get this kind of animation. So this is how you can create this kind of sci-fi animation. And now there is another thing important in every animation is that motion blur effect. Now whenever we are in After Effects, what we generally do, for example, if I create new composition, I'll create just one shape to tell you what we do in After Effects to create a motion blur. Suppose I have created this what we call rectangle. Control Alt Home, press P. Let's create one keyframe, go few frame forward. Let's move this from here to here. Now select those keyframes and hit F9. Now this is just a normal animation. To generally apply motion blur, what we do, we will enable this option, so we'll get this blurriness over here. But in this case, it's not like that. If you enable this motion blur, you are not gonna get any motion blur effect because that's not available over here like this. So now what we will do, we will create another adjustment layer. Let's select this glow and let's increase the glow radius a little bit. Okay, now select this adjustment layer, go to the effect and presets panel and we will search for pixel motion blur effect and double click to apply. Now what we will do, it will apply the additional motion blur effect over here, and with the shutter angle you can increase and decrease the values of motion blur. Like now it's 180. Suppose if you choose 300, it will blur it a little bit extra, but I would suggest make it 120 only. We don't want much more because this is not just natural motion blur. So let's make it 150 only, so we will get this motion blur. And now in After Effects, it will take a little bit time to even read this animation. The reason being, we have already applied 5 adjustment layer and each adjustment layer contains 1 or 2 effects, so that's why it will take a little bit time to render. And motion blur generally takes time, but the final output is gonna look super awesome. And during the adjustment this motion blur, we need to take care of, generally whenever we are going to looping animations, we select this adjustment layer and at 0 frames I'll go to the 20 frames. I'll select this adjustment layer, I'll hold Alt and open bracket. So basically I'm gonna trim this initial part, and then at the last what we are gonna do, Alt close bracket, and let's move this 2 frames initially. We don't want motion blur during initial 2 frames and last 2 frames because that would be helpful to make this animation in the form of loop, and then it's not gonna distort the any effect. So yep, this is how you can create sci-fi animation with the help of Cinema 4D and Adobe After Effects to enhance this color combinations and extra color animations. So yep, that's it for today's video. We will see you in my next video. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this tutorial, and if you like this tutorial, then please consider to subscribe this channel and also hit the bell icon to get more updates. And if you want to create some more interesting animations like this, then check out these 2 videos. I'll see you in my next video. Until then, stay tuned.